So what is email marketing? Well, according to Wikipedia, email marketing is directly marketing a commercial message to a group of people using email. And it usually involves using email to send ads, to request business, or to solicit sales or donations, and it's meant to build loyalty, trust, or brand awareness. Or, to put it another way, it's direct mail for the 21st century. And email marketing shares many of the principles of direct mail. And if you've ever read anything by any of the great advertising men of the past, people like Claude Hopkins or David Ogilvy, they emphasize how speaking directly to the customer or the potential customer really helps you to get your point across. They talk a lot about sales letters, and really this is just updating it for the 21st century. However, compared to direct mail, it's much easier because you can set things up so that it runs pretty much on autopilot 24/7. And it's also much cheaper because you don't have to pay to have the letters printed out, you don't have to put them in envelopes, you don't have to stick stamps on them, you don't have to send them out in the mail. You can send everything by email. Now, this chart gives you the basics of how email marketing works. First of all, you drive traffic to a squeeze page, and a squeeze page is a page on a website that has a form where the visitor can enter their name and email address. And once they've confirmed that they wish to receive emails from you, they receive a free gift. And this free giveaway can be anything really. It can be an ebook, or it can be a video, or it can be an audio, or it can be a report. Anything that has a high perceived value and can be delivered right away digitally. At the same time, their name and email address gets added to the mailing list, and then emails are sent out to them on a regular basis. Now, obviously, the process is slightly more complicated than this, but this chart boils it down to the basics and gives you an idea as to how the whole system works. And you can use email marketing for all sorts of things. You can use it for generating sales, obviously, because you can connect directly with the customer. You're sending them an email, and so therefore you're communicating with them one-on-one. And you can also do things like email-only promotions, where you can send somebody a coupon that they can use to get a discount on the website, that sort of thing. And you can test the effectiveness of your campaign that way as well. And you can use it to build customer relations. Because if you write your emails in a way like you're writing to your best friend, then people will get to know you, and of course they'll get to trust you. And when people trust a retailer, they are more likely to buy something. And you can also use it to announce new products. And these can be your products, or they can be affiliate products that you're selling for somebody else and receiving a commission. And of course, all this leads to increased sales and higher profits for you, and of course more money for your business and for your family. And the great thing about email marketing is any business can benefit. It doesn't have to be an online business. It can be an offline business. It can be a non-profit organization. It can be any type of business. And we'll go into the mechanics of how all this works in later videos. So, what's the difference between email marketing and spamming? Well, for the uninitiated, spam is actually a brand of luncheon meat made by the Hormel Foods Corporation. And it became very popular during World War II, especially as soldiers used to have it in their sea rations. And the use of it to do with being a nuisance was actually inspired by a scene from the BBC TV sketch show Monty Python's Flying Circus. And in one particular sketch, there's some people in a restaurant, and the waitress is reading out the menu, and everything has got spam on it. And the woman, actually it's a man in drag, but the woman who's ordering it is saying that she doesn't like spam, and her objections are being drowned out by a lot of Viking warriors who are also in the restaurant, and they're going spam, 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 spam. And if you haven't seen it, it's up on YouTube, and it is actually very funny in a silly sort of way. Anyway, spam is technically unsolicited email messages. And they're usually advertising for things like Viagra, or for pornography, or watches, and all sorts of stuff. And it used to be called electronic junk mail, and it does carry a lot of the characteristics of the sort of junk mail that comes into your letterbox or your mailbox, and it is just generally a nuisance. And just as a sidebar, spam isn't new. The first recorded spam message was an unsolicited commercial telegram that was sent en masse to some British politicians in May 1864 advertising a dentist. So it's nothing new. And of course, in the early days of the internet and the early days of email, sort of back in the 1990s, people started to get this junk email being sent through to them, and because it was a nuisance and it was unpopular, it reminded a lot of people about the Monty Python's Flying Circus sketch, and they started to refer to this junk email as spam. So you go through your email inbox and it would be, spam, 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 just like in the Monty Python sketch. And all of this prompted the US Congress to pass the Canned Spam Act back in 2003, and other countries have now followed suit and have similar laws on their books. Now, if you want to get really technical, I suppose you could say that spamming, well, it is email marketing, but it's done badly. And, spamming is stupid. It's illegal. It's unfocused. You're just sending this stuff out into the ether and hoping that it'll land in the mailbox of someone who might just be interested in your product or service. It's likely to get your email address or your domain blacklisted, and that can cause you all sorts of trouble down the line. And most of it gets filtered out anyway. Now, here are 5 golden rules to avoid being a spammer. Okay, rule number 1, and this is the most important rule of all, which is why we've got it at the top here. Only send email messages to people who have specifically asked to receive them from you. That's very, very important. So you only send email messages to people who have said, yes, you can email me, generally by signing up on your squeeze page. Rule number 2 is to use double opt-in, and that is where, when somebody comes to your squeeze page, they enter their information, they're immediately sent an email to the address that they've given with a link in it that they have to click on to confirm that they want to receive email messages from you. So they can't turn around and say, well, somebody else entered my email address in for me, because they actually have to receive the email and then opt to receive further messages. And this actually protects you, because it means that the address that's going to be entered is a genuine address and not a joke one. And rule number 3, always give the recipient the option to unsubscribe from your mailing list, and most autoresponder services will include a link at the bottom of every email which will enable the person who's receiving it to click the link and be automatically unsubscribed from your mailing list. And you should have full contact details at the bottom of each email. So you want to have your name, you want to have a mailing address, you want to have a phone number, so that the person who's receiving this knows that you are a real person or a real company, a real business, and you're not just somebody sending out a load of spam messages. And finally, don't send too many emails. And this is very important, because Even if people have opted to receive them, if you keep bombarding them with emails, they might flag you up as a spammer, and that can cause you all sorts of trouble down the road. So if you follow these 5 golden rules, you'll be doing proper email marketing, not spamming. In this video, I want to talk you through the different types of email service, which is also known as an autoresponder service. But before I do, let me just talk you through how the whole system works. What happens is somebody comes to your squeeze page and they enter their information, normally their first name and their email address, into the box on your squeeze page. That data then gets sent to your email service or autoresponder company, and they store that information on their database. They'll send the subscriber a confirmation email, and when that arrives in their inbox, the subscriber clicks on the link to confirm that they wish to receive emails from you. Then 2 things will probably happen. The subscriber will be redirected to your download page so they can download your free giveaway, and a message will be sent back to the autoresponder company's database. This is known as double opt-in. And then it's noted on the company's database that this subscriber has confirmed and has given their consent to receive emails from you. And then emails are sent out in order and on schedule. Now, in a sort of a secondary process as well, you write and schedule the emails. You log on to the autoresponder company's site and you write your emails, and you can personalize them with the person's first name, and you can put other information in as well that changes with each email. And this all gets stored in the autoresponder company's database, and then the emails are sent out in order and on schedule. So that's basically how the process works, and it works that way regardless of which type of autoresponder service you use. The only difference being, if you decide to go down the self-hosted route, then the database is on your server rather than the autoresponder company's server. But that, in a nutshell, is how the whole process works. Now, when it comes to sending out emails, you've got 2 options. You can either use an autoresponder service, and if you're just starting out, then that's probably the best one to use, especially if you're on shared hosting. And the autoresponder company will take care of everything for you. They will take care of storing all your data. They will take care of sending out the emails. They will take care of handling all the bounces, all the unsubscribes, and so on. And they charge a monthly fee, and the fee structure varies depending on the company that you use. And there are lots of different companies out there, and I'll explain a bit more about that later in the video. The other option is to go self-hosted, and if you are sending a lot of emails, several hundred every minute or something like that, then it might not be a bad idea to go self-hosted, because some autoresponder services will charge you depending on how many emails that you send out. So it can sometimes reach the point where you're spending a lot of money on an autoresponder service, and then buying the autoresponder software and hosting it on your own server and maybe hiring someone to look after it for you then becomes an option. But in order to do this properly, you really do need a dedicated server or a virtual private server or VPS, and a lot of technical knowledge is required. Now, one thing you must bear in mind is it's easier to go from an autoresponder service to a self-hosted situation rather than the other way around, because if you have a database that's self-hosted and you decide that you'd rather have an autoresponder service, and you upload all these names and email addresses onto your autoresponder services database, then they are going to expect everybody to opt in again. So they'll send them the double opt-in confirmation email all over again. And you'll find that a lot of people can't be bothered to do that, so you'll lose a lot of subscribers if you do it that way. So it's best to start off with an autoresponder service, and then lots of people, lots of big IM gurus still use an autoresponder service, but if you feel you want to go self-hosted, it's best to do that later on rather than in the beginning. If you decide to go with a service, there's a few different ones that you can choose from. Probably the most popular one is Aweber, which you can find here at aweber.com. Then there's GetResponse, which is getresponse.com, and if you're outside of the US, it'll redirect you to the local site. For example, here in the UK, it's getresponse.co.uk. And then there's MailChimp, which is mailchimp.com. Now they're all slightly different, even though they all work on the same principle. They're slightly different in the way that they work and in their pricing structure. So it's probably best to take a look at all of them and decide which one works best for you. In this video, I want to talk about the different types of free giveaway that you can use as an inducement to get people to sign up for your mailing list. As we can see from this diagram, the free gift is what people get directed to after they've signed up. Now, your free giveaway or your free gift must have certain characteristics. First of all, it must be relevant and of interest to your target audience. So if you're going after people in, say, the investment niche, you don't want to send them a free gift about dating, because it's not going to be of any interest to them at all. And it must be of high perceived value, and the key word here is perceived. People must think that this is something that's worth having, something that is of good value in return for them giving you their name and their email address. But of course, it mustn't be something that you're going to make a loss on. So for example, if you're in the gold investing niche, you don't want to give somebody a coupon to go out and buy a Krugerrand at half price, and you've arranged with the jeweler to make up the other 50%, because that's going to lose you money. So it has to be something that's high perceived value, but not something that you're going to make a loss on. And of course, it has to deliver what it promises. It must make good on what you say on the squeeze page. So if you say you're going to provide them with 10 tips for stock market investing, you must provide them with 10 very good tips for stock market investing. So it must deliver on what it promises, or as the slogan says, it must do exactly what it says on the tin. And it mustn't be a blatant sales pitch for a paid product. Now, it's perfectly okay to have an advertisement for something that you're selling at the back of this free giveaway, if it's, say, an ebook, and it's perfectly okay to give, say, a free sample chapter from an ebook, but it mustn't be something that's a complete blatant sales pitch for something that you want people to pay for. And it must also be something that can be downloaded as soon as the subscriber confirms. So they go through and they sign up on your squeeze page, and they get the confirmation email, and they click on the link, and after they've confirmed, it goes straight through, and they go straight through to the download page, or they get sent an email right away with this thing as an attachment, or the first email in a series. So it has to be something that they can get right away. There has to be sort of instant gratification on their part. You don't want them to be like our friend here, getting rather frustrated waiting for their free gift to arrive. So what I recommend is that you redirect the customer to the download page immediately after they've confirmed their email address, and you should also send them a download link via email right away. So if there's, for some reason, they can't get through to the download page, they have a link sent to them via email, so they don't have to wait in order to get this free giveaway. That's very important. Now, there are various types of free giveaway that you can use as an inducement to get people to sign up. You can give away reports or ebooks, and those are probably the most common types of free giveaway. You can give away videos, and you can give away e-courses. Now, e-courses are great because they get people used to receiving emails from you and into the habit of opening and reading them, which of course is very, very useful in online marketing. Now, let's talk about some sources of material for your free giveaway. The best type of free giveaway is something that you've created yourself especially for this particular giveaway. So it's something that's completely unique, something that the subscriber isn't going to get anywhere else. Or it could be something that you've commissioned someone to make for you, and the same thing applies here. It can be something that you've previously sold for a high price. So let's say you had an ebook which sold well and now you're giving it away free, then that is going to be a very high perceived value, which is going to be a very good inducement for people to sign up. Or, as I mentioned earlier on, it can be a sample chapter from a forthcoming ebook, or it could be the first video in a video series, or that sort of thing. And it can also be repurposed private label rights or PLR content. Now, you have to be careful with PLR content because there is a lot of it about, and sometimes you can get PLR and it's very good quality, and sometimes you can get PLR and it is absolutely terrible quality. It's badly written by people who don't speak English as their first language, and it's generally very poor quality. Do bear in mind that if you are going to be offering your own paid for product somewhere down the line, people are going to judge the potential quality of that product by what they've got as the freebie. So you do need to be careful, especially if you're using PLR. But what you can do is you can turn PLR articles into an ebook, or you can turn an ebook into a video, or into an e-course. And e-courses can be text-based, or they can be video-based, or they can be both. You do have a lot of flexibility when it comes to e-courses. Now, at the very least, if you're going to use PLR, you should call your PLR content something else, and you should change the cover design. And I would also recommend that you go through and rewrite it as well, just to make it unique and not something that someone's going to be able to download from some other site. So there you go. These are the different types of free giveaway that you can use to encourage people to sign up to your mailing list. In this video, I'm going to talk you through how you go about setting up your squeeze page. The best squeeze pages all have the following things in common. First of all, the design is non-distracting. It focuses the visitor on what the freebie is, the benefits to them, and it has the place for them to sign up. And that's it. There's nothing else for them to do other than either sign up or click away and go somewhere else. That's just it. It really concentrates on getting them to sign up for your free offer and join your mailing list. And they have an eye-catching headline and a graphic that shows what the free giveaway is. And they stress the benefits to the visitor of downloading the free giveaway. And the benefits can be either listed in text bullet points, or what a lot of people do nowadays is they have a video on their squeeze page which gives details about what the giveaway is and stresses the benefits. And the sign up box is prominently displayed. People don't have to go looking around for it. They can immediately see where they have to sign up, and they know the information that they need to put in. And finally, everything is above the fold, and this means that they don't have to scroll down to enter information. Everything is right there. As soon as they come to the page, they can see all the information in one go. They don't have to mess about looking for it. Now there are two popular formats for squeeze pages. There's HTML and there's WordPress. Now HTML is getting less and less popular nowadays, particularly because so many people surf the internet on mobile phones and tablets that HTML sometimes doesn't work as well as WordPress. But these are the two most popular formats for squeeze pages, and there are still a lot of HTML squeeze pages out there. Here's a good example of an HTML squeeze page. You can see you've got the headline, you've got the graphic of the free report that's being given away, you've got the benefits listed here, and you've got the sign up box over here. And as you can see, this is all above the fold. You can enter all this information in without having to scroll down to do it. And I'll just show you the code here. You can see this is what's driving it. That's all the HTML code for this page. If you're going to use WordPress, this is a good example of a WordPress squeeze page. This is just an example page, but you can see what it looks like here. This one is slightly different because you do have to go below the fold, but you just simply enter your email address and click to get instant access. And here's another example. This one uses a YouTube video to give all the information out. Again, you've got your headline, you've got everything here in the YouTube video, and you simply enter your email address and click on send. Now if you want to write your own HTML squeeze pages, a good tool to use is this one, SeaMonkey, which you can download for free from seamonkey-project.org. And if you want to make a nice clean WordPress theme for your squeeze page, Lubith, which you can access here at lubith.com. And Lubith is a free online WYSIWYG WordPress theme generator, and you don't need to do any coding at all. It's all drag and drop, and it's all free. If you want to create squeeze pages in WordPress, you can also use this plugin, which is WP Lead Plus Free Squeeze Page Creator. And this is a plugin that you can install from within WordPress. Just go to the plugins installation and do a search for Squeeze Page Creator and you'll be directed to this one. Or you can use a service like squeezepagecreator.com, and this has 4 different templates which you can adapt to make your squeeze page. You also want to pay attention to your download page, which should be very easy and straightforward for your customer to follow. For example, you want to make it easier for them to download it. This particular report was as a PDF, so you can simply right click and download it. And if they need to have any special software, for example Adobe Acrobat Reader, then you want to make sure that there's a link to it from within your download page so that your customer can easily access it. And you also should have a contact link so that if they have any difficulty downloading, then they can contact you for assistance. Something else that I find is you want to make sure that this doesn't get indexed by the search engines. So you want to make sure that the meta tags include the don't follow tag. Let me just show you that. You can see here robots, no follow, no archive, no index, and revisit never. So that'll stop it being indexed by most of the search engines, so people can't circumvent your system and download it without signing up. And with all this ready, you should be able to get your free report or whatever other type of download that you're offering to your subscriber very easily. In this video, I want to talk about your follow-up series, and this is the emails that you're going to send to people after that initial contact, after they've gone and downloaded the free report, or after they've signed up for your e-course. And if you are going to offer an e-course, then you need to send emails on a regular basis, and you need to send them either on certain days of the week or after every so many number of days. And be sure to send the emails as often as you said you would do when people signed up for the course. And if you're hosting your e-course online on something like Moodle or something like that, then you want to send people a reminder email that the latest installment in the course is now available. And you don't want to send any sales emails during the course. Now, there is an exception to this rule. If you're going to be offering another higher priced course, you might want to send an email just before the final email of the free course to let students know that this new course is going to be available. You want to send it as an information email. In other words, you don't want to make it too salesy, and you don't want to talk about the price. You just want to send it so that people know this new course is going to be available after you've finished the free one. And then after they've finished the free course, then you want to send them the sales email so that they can sign up for the paid for course. Generally, whether you're doing an e-course or whether you've sent out a report or an e-book or something like that, your follow-up series wants to be a mix of marketing and information emails. And most people recommend a 2-to-1 ratio. That's 2 sales emails for 1 information email. And the marketing emails can be for your products, or they can be for affiliate products. Now, the information emails can contain useful tips, or they can also contain links to free resources. But don't send out too much free stuff though, because then people get into the habit of just seeing you as a provider of free information, and they won't actually pay you for the paid for stuff that you want them to buy. And obviously the whole idea of email marketing is to tell people about offers that you are going to make money from. So while you do want to send some free information, you don't want to overdo it. You can also send things like links to YouTube videos or other video sharing sites like Vimeo and that sort of thing. And you can send links to other people's giveaways. In other words, you can send solo ads, and I talk about these in another video. And you can do surveys as well. And surveys are very important because they help you to see exactly what it is that your customers are looking for. Of course, another big question is, how often do you mail your list? You want to mail them at least once every week, because if you leave it any longer, they might forget about you. So you want to make sure that you send them an email at least once a week. And a lot of people will email their list 2 or 3 times a week. There are some people who say that you should email your list every day. Every day you should send them an email, because you want to make sure that your email gets to the top of their inbox. Personally, I don't think that's a very good idea, because if you keep bombarding people with emails over and over again, then it loses their value. They lose their significance of receiving an email from you. And in the best case scenario, it's just going to go straight into the trash, or they'll filter it out. In the worst case scenario, they'll brand you a spammer. Even though they've signed up and they've double opted in, if you keep hammering them with different offers every single day, they're going to see you as a spammer. And this can cause you a lot of problems, especially when you have subscribers who use some of the big online email providers. All they've got to do is complain to their email provider that you are spamming them, and the email provider or the ISP can block out all the messages that they receive from you. And this means that not only are your messages blocked out from the person who's complained about you spamming them, but also every other person who's on your list who has an email address with this provider will also be blocked out. So a large number of your email messages won't get through. And when it comes to spamming, most ISPs and email providers have a zero tolerance policy, and quite frankly, you're considered guilty until proven innocent, and it's up to you to prove that they have consented to receive the email from you in the first place, and then they'll take the block off. But it's a lot of hassle, and quite frankly, you really don't want to go through it. It can cause you a lot of anxiety, and it takes a lot of time that can be best spent doing something else. Bear in mind, your mailing list is the most valuable asset that your online business has. In fact, if you're an email marketer, your mailing list is your business. So you want to treat it and the people on it with respect. One thing you mustn't do is treat it like a cash cow to be milked. So do please bear that in mind. In this video, I'm going to talk you through where you can find affiliate products to promote. Some of the best places to look are ClickBank, which you can find here at clickbank.com, and this is a site that sells digital downloads, and it's lots of different sites that use ClickBank as their affiliate processor. So if you come to clickbank.com and then click here on Marketplace, and then you can sort through and find products that fit your niche. Another one is pay.com, which is pay.com.com, and it's very similar to ClickBank, but it's integrated with your PayPal account, whereas with ClickBank you either get sent a check in the mail or a wire transfer. Then there's JVZoo, which is jvzoo.com, and it's very easy to sign up for JVZoo. Just click on the link here that says become an affiliate and follow the instructions, and you can look for things to sell in the marketplace here in a similar way to ClickBank. Then there's Amazon Associates, and this basically lets you sell pretty much everything that they cover on Amazon.com, whether it's a digital product or whether it's a physical product. You can sell everything from here and get a commission, and you can find out more at affiliate-program.amazon.com. And then finally there's CJ Affiliate by Conversant. This used to be called Commission Junction, and they coordinate sales for lots of different companies and pay a commission. There's all sorts of stuff that you can sell via CJ. It's digital products, physical products, things like hotel rooms. There's a whole lot of different stuff that you can find here on CJ. So have a look at these sites, and you're bound to find several products right away that will fit your niche perfectly.